Alrighty, welcome back, guys. This is your Muppet, the Supreme Muppet, the Muppet Supreme. I am not, in fact, dead. I just wanted to throw out a fun YouTube video. Before I do this, though, I wanted to show you kind of a fun game that I had at the end of the stream the other day. You can go see my commentary on that stream on my Twitch channel, so you can feel free to go check that out if you want to. I think it was a lot of fun. I certainly had a lot of fun making it. It was at the end of a relatively long stream, just about 5 hours, and got up to this game, and I was starting to feel a little bit tired, you know, my voice was starting to hurt, and just had a load of fun, so I wanted to talk about it and show it to you and put it out on YouTube so that, you know, anyone who is interested can go see just this thing with all of my I would say thoughts, but it's more like trains crashing together at high speed.
I like trains.
Before I even get into the actual video itself, I wanted to just talk about a few things and address what is going on behind me, because if you have looked at any of the other videos on my channel, you'll be looking at it going, wow, that, I don't see pans. And that's a fact. There are, in fact, no pans here. There is, I have degrees. I went to school for those.
I'm a college man. I won't need my high school diploma anymore. I am the smart. I am the smart. I am the smart. I am the smart. S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T.
Those are expensive. But they're there. They're there. I do have them. So yeah, there's that. And I have a printer, and I have bookshelves, and a Star Wars poster, and yeah, yeah. So long story short, guys, I got a new job, and I moved, and all sorts of stuff happened. Long story short, I'm working now in software testing. For a company kind of in my area, having a lot of fun doing that. It's a good time. And then we were also fortunate enough to be able to move into a slightly larger apartment that's not effectively a studio. So as much as I do love my previous apartment, and I had, you know, lots of good memories there, it was my first apartment kind of living on my own with my wife. This place is a little bit more roomy, and I can actually walk from one room to another, because there is more than one room. So that's why there aren't any more pans behind me, and why the world isn't as fun anymore, basically, is what I'm trying to say. All of that being said, I wanted to set the stage for the video that I'm about to show you guys now. I'm going to show you the replay. Again, you can go check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MuppetSupreme, if you want to go check that out. But I wanted to introduce this video, set the stage for you, give you an idea of where we were at. Like I said, I was at the end of my stream. It was a nice 5-ish hour stream, and I was starting to get a little tired. And of course, I was not thinking straight at this point. I was caffeinated. I had gotten a cup of tea to keep me going, and so I was fully caffeinated. I was excited. I was ready to go, but not like in a good way. Again, trains crashing together kind of thing. And as all of this is happening, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play my Stridsvagn 1030. It's one of my favorite tanks lately. I'm using it ostensibly to grind towards the Kranvagn. I know they're not the same line. Don't at me. And I started grinding it, and I'm playing this tank, and I'm having a good old time. So let's just show you what happened. We're on, I believe, Sturjanki, or however that's intended to be pronounced.
Studzianki.
So let's go ahead and flip-flop on over to that now. Okie dokie, here we are at the beginning of the match. We are currently awaiting players, as you can see, and let's go ahead and give this a go. You can see here I'm basically in my little streaming box. Isn't it beautiful? I built this. This is my streaming box. This is where I live when I'm streaming, in a roughly 1.5-inch rectangle. And let's go ahead and get it going. All right. So, let me show you what happened. I'm sitting here in my Stridsvagn 1030, and I was looking at the map, and I was looking at my XVM, and I was thinking, I've had a hard day. I've had some iffy results on my stream, and I'm feeling less than prepared for what's about to happen. Again, caffeinated, stressy, having a good time talking to the chat though. And I was looking at it and I thought to myself, where does a little camping cheese wedge like myself go on this map? And so, of course, I decided to head over to the northern side of the map. Now, for those of you who maybe are less familiar with this map, I find it a very interesting one. There's a lot of open space in the middle. You can kind of see that right down in here. This whole area is basically an EBR's playground, and this map is an EBR's playground. Meanwhile, there are also some pretty good places for tank destroyers and that sort of thing, so I decided I was going to go sit in these bushes. Now, these bushes are excellent if you have excellent camo. Me playing my cheese wedge, I do have excellent camo, so I decided to come hang out and see what was going to happen. So you can see I've set myself up in my siege mode, and I realize this man is behind a brick wall, and I realize this man is also behind a brick wall, but only after firing at it, because trains crashing together. This is an image I want to keep repeating. I want to instill it in your minds. Trains crashing together is what goes on in my head on a daily basis.
I like trains.
We're looking at our 50 TP. We're looking at our E75 over here. I'm starting already. We are just under a minute and a half into the battle, and I'm already starting to get bored because aside from trains crashing together, I also have like a hamster spinning on a wheel watching the trains. So my brain was starting to melt as we reach officially now a minute and a half into this match. I was bored out of my mind, and I kept checking this wall thinking that at some stage it might become transparent. It didn't. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil that for you all here. But this was what was going through my head. Now, we're looking over here. We've got this Batchat 25T AP, which is just far too long of a name. And he's starting to kind of poke up on the hill along with his little CS52 LIS friend. But I still can't hit them. You'll notice I still don't have any shots, okay? Now, this game was not so much exciting for the beginning of it, as you might already be able to tell. The beginning of this game was like watching paint dry outdoors on a winter day while it drizzles, okay? That's the beginning of this game, is an exercise in futility, essentially, and not something that I was overly thrilled with, but it does in fact get better. Eventually. I'm watching a little crossfire. That auto-aim! Okay, so this tank, I am not generally afraid to auto-aim because you can. And I was pretty happy about that. Got the little auto-aim on there. You'll notice also, I want to pause the video really quickly and point this out. If you look at the way that I'm set up, you can actually see that there are a lot of bushes between me and this CS52, which is part of why I was able to take that shot without getting spotted. Again, this position is good for tanks with high camo rating. Full stop. It's good for tanks with high camo rating. If you don't have a high camo rating, like this Bulldog, who's also gone and knocked down a tree for us, then I would, you know, suggest that you probably not be here. Now, here's another thing I want to point out. I want you to notice the bottom of the minimap down here, right? We have a T49, a T95, VK, Progetto 54, and Turtle all headed towards this lovely AMX 1390. And the UDES. That is a 5-on-2, not exactly ideal odds.
Never tell me the odds.
And if you would also look to my left, you'll find a lovely sir who was kind of camping out here for a little while. If you watch my stream, you'll notice I was asking repeatedly what exactly he was up to. My buddy, my boy, my dude, please go do anything would be great. because we needed vision on the southern side, not so much the northern side, and he was camping the northern side. And he also doesn't really have the camo rating to be doing this. Also keep in mind, you might notice, I'm checking to my left here, thinking, he's blocking my shot. If anyone comes through the factory area and exposes themselves to crossfire, I will not in fact be able to execute said crossfire because of our little bulldog friend here. But he's very comfortable, and he did. You'll notice also, if you've been watching the map carefully, people have actually been pinging him. There was a little bit of attention grabbing starting to happen here, where one of our tank destroyers had said, "Hello, sir," poke, and was trying to get his attention and draw his attention to the southern portion of the map, which we were losing. You'll also notice we are now down to a 2-4. Not a situation I was overly thrilled with, but I thought, you know what, maybe I can camp myself to victory, right? Bulldog is certainly committed to that strategy, and I thought maybe I can make this work. So we're just kind of hanging out. Now, as formerly stated, someone has in fact appeared. And you'll notice I'm sort of shaking my mouse here, trying to indicate nicely to this man that he should perhaps leave the camping to the Swedish cheese wedges who have effectively perfected the camping art. Leaving out of this the Steven 90s, Steven can do what he wants because he's a wizard, okay? But otherwise, you want yourself a slice of cheese if you're gonna sit in a bush for a while. So this is what we're doing. Hanging out, thinking maybe this wall will become transparent and I might have a shot on the guard. I don't, but that was what was going through my head, at the very least. So we're gonna just camp out, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, now I've been sitting here for quite a while. You'll notice I've turned to face the other direction again, because I'm thinking, I've been here a bit. What are the odds, and I'm thinking they're good, that someone from my right decides to try and press the flank? And I was feeling fairly confident about this assessment, right? I keep checking over here. I'm thinking, maybe someone is going to feel brave, and I will be able to punish their bravery. Pro tip for most of you out there. If you are on the opposing team, if you are coming from the western side of this map, under no circumstances should you press the A line alone, because there is always a cheese wedge waiting to cause you pain. I am cheese acting out on a lactose intolerant person. That is what I am. That's my function in this scenario. I am cheese aggravating the intestinal workings of someone with severe lactose intolerance. That is what awaits you if you press the A line by yourself. Moving away from the A line, if you look at the J line, you will notice that the enemy has effectively destroyed that flank. We are still holding, though, 5-7. Slim margins, but potentially still winnable. And sure enough, the Batchat AP has decided to move, and I managed to give him a little tappy tap. This is why you don't press by yourself. Again, I am cheese. He had lactose intolerance, okay? It didn't end well. As with cheese and lactose intolerance, we have an explosion here. Checking out the Progetto 54. Piece by piece, I'm slowly thinking, okay, maybe we're going to get something. It's overall being a very boring game so far, but we haven't gotten to the fun bit yet. E75 was starting to poke out here, and you'll notice I actually took the shot hoping that I would be able to land his backside, and unfortunately, unlike Nemo, I was unable to touch the butt.
I'm gonna go touch the butt!
So, this is the way things are for the time being. We have our artillery in the back, who's actually doing a pretty phenomenal job pinging who he's after and all this kind of stuff. I'm hanging out. I'm thinking I got my chance. I'm gonna just camp this. And at this point, my actual words were, now that we've decided to camp this out, we need to commit to camping it out. We can't just, you know, go willy-nilly and start, you know, trying to rush people or whatever. Now that we are camping this, we need to become the bush. We need to become the bush in a whole different way. Now, I've killed the Conway, and I don't remember... yes, I had gotten spotted by the T-34, so I think I shrieked like a little girl. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And moved back down behind this hill. This is kind of where we're at right now. I'm shrieking. I'm scared. I'm a little tense. The T-34 has seen me, or rather, the Conway has seen me, who you know, relayed my position. You get the idea. And we've evened it out. With the death of the Progetto 54, my team has actually camped their way to parity. Not victory, but parity, at least at this stage. We have the T-30 asking for spots, a fair request at this stage, given our lack of vision, and I'm actually kind of impressed, I'm not going to lie. In all seriousness, I'm kind of impressed with my team for being able to hold out against the Southern assault, which I have to assume that the enemy bungled spectacularly in order for my team to be able to win that scenario, because, again, 5-2 was what we were looking at earlier, and now we're at parity. So, again, my spidey sense is tingling. They're tingling. They're tingling like my cat walking across my chest in the middle of the night. I look to my right. I'm thinking, T-34? Is he coming? Is he going to be here or no? I don't know at this stage. So I'm kind of watching down there. I'm thinking maybe the VK is going to move into my line of fire. Obviously, I can't move too far from this location. And the T-34 does, in fact, start moving. We bounce an auto-aimed shot, which is why you should probably not auto-aim. But keep in mind, I am bad at this. So, you know, do what I say, not what I do. And I figured I could give him a little slap in the side of the turret. I was wanting to wait a little moment. You'll notice I hesitated there. I wanted to get my camo net engaged first. Didn't end up getting the chance. And he decides to do this. Now, he is down to a one-shot at this stage. And let's hold on. Let's pause this. Right? I'm looking at his tank. I'm thinking juicy death. And I was giggling. Because if you saw what I was doing, I was wiggling my tank like a lizard's tail after it's been unintentionally removed.
What?
And I was kind of enjoying myself. I was having fun because this T-34 did not know how to handle a wiggling Stridsvagn 1030. For reference, the correct answer is probably just track me, because there's very little I can do about that. Now, understand, I do have a repair kit, but the T-34 has a reasonable reload, so I wouldn't say it would be too difficult to just track me, pull back, track me again, and then, you know, reap the benefits. Me, however, I was wiggling like a madman, trying to avoid the shell. I don't know if he was aiming for my weak point. I don't know exactly what the situation is. But in this tank, if you are up against a tank with, say, medium firepower, and they hit you on your flat armor, there is a decent chance that you bounce. So if you can avoid them hitting your weak point or your lower plate, you're in much better shape overall. And this is something that I would say also just for anyone playing the Stridsvagn 1030 or 103B or even the UDES, if you're playing these tanks, just wiggle. Wiggle like a madman, and your chances go up of good things happening. So let's continue this. And we ended that poor sap's existence. Again, giggling at this stage, because I was so happy that we had taken this loss and turned it around via camping. Not my camping, mind you. My whole team camped their way to victory. and I was just having a very good time. So we're gonna watch Stinky Pink Banana fly his way forward. Excellent name, by the way. And the guard is feeling brave. And I was thinking, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? Now, you might be thinking in response to that, the game. You could lose you could throw the game. The game. That would be what you could lose. Now, me, on the other hand, I'm, again, caffeinated and not a brilliant man, and so my thoughts were... attack cheese was all that was going through my head. Attack cheese! And so I switched myself out of siege mode, and I had a decent idea of where this 50 TP was. So I was operating based on his last known position on the map, thinking to myself, let's get him. Okay, sure enough, he gets spotted. I'm excited, I'm coming up to get him, and I wasn't 100% sure if I could make it up this edge here. The answer is yes, you can, and I bounce. Like an absolute moron, I bounced the shot, but we did, in fact, land it, and then... that. Now, at this stage, I'm using my little indicator, right, to figure out where this man is, and I fired just a split second too late. But this was just a very fun game for me. I know there was a lot of camping, but I thought it was interesting anyway. I thought it was a good time. It made me very happy. It was just the best experience overall. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This has been the Muppet Supreme. I am not, in fact, dead. And I look forward to seeing all of you a little bit more frequently. Hopefully I will be able to upload more frequently. And yeah, guys, that's what I've got for you. If you want to see more of this more regularly, I stream on Saturdays at 1 p.m. US Central Time at twitch.tv/Muppet Supreme. If you enjoyed this, or you want to see more of this, or you're just a masochist, you can also feel free to punch the subscribe doodad and the notification bell, and find out the next time I resurface like a gopher on Groundhog Day. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I will see you around.